So we're recording now. So if you're not interested in being recorded, this will be the time to leave, because everybody's getting recorded so that we can share this with people who aren't able to make it. So welcome to Digital Literacy and Safety for Students and Teachers. This is made to teach us and your students at the same time. Please download the files. There's the link to the files. And maybe Marjorie, if you will put that link in the chat box for people so that they can get to the link anytime during the workshop. If I do want you to understand, and this is quite an interactive workshop, so hopefully you'll be able to, I think I'm going to get, if everybody can see the screen well, I am going to make it smaller so I can see the chat box, because I really want to have questions. Okay, so this workshop is hosted by OTAN, and hopefully you're all familiar with OTAN, but there's a lot of different things that OTAN offers you, and it's all free of charge. They have face-to-face and online trainings. This is an online training. They have what's called Teaching with Technology, which is a really cool website that allows you to see lesson plans and video clips that teachers have done. It has teachers and administrator digest that you can have come to your email. And it has news articles. It has the Technology and Learning Symposium, which I believe is in Hacienda del Puente this year. And we have online resources. So thanks to OTAN for sponsoring this free workshop today. Okay. So I think I'll just go to the next slide. So this is a little bit about me. My name is Susan Gaer. I have co-edited a series called Project Success with Pearson. I'm a Google certified innovator. I love Quizlet, so I'm a teacher ambassador for Quizlet. I use Remind, and I'm what's called a Remind Connected Educator. And I am a certified ThingLink educator. But the newest thing about me is that I'm now the president-elect of CATESOL. So hopefully if you're ESL teachers, you will be at the CATESOL conference and I'll get to see you. So that's a little bit about me. So this is the objectives today. We're going to, let me see if I can move this so that you can see everything. Okay. We're going to be learning the differences between different malwares, and malware is something that's bad on your computer that you don't want, such as phishing, pharming, and smishing. The second thing we're going to learn about is why it's important to have a web presence. We're going to learn how to craft a good web presence. We're going to discuss the vulnerabilities of Wi-Fi and how to avoid them. We're going to discuss password management systems, and hopefully we'll understand your security settings and how to stay safe. And hopefully what I share with you today, you can also take to your students in different doses, of course, not like this, and share with them. Okay, so this is, the first thing we're going to talk about is malware, and we have different things that are going on. We have pharming, spamming, phishing, and smishing. Now, if you could go ahead in the chat box, tell me what you think these things are, that would be great. Go ahead and tell me if you have any idea what these things are in the chat box, and I'm going to see if I can get the chat box to show up. Great. Is that Virginia, Westerskopf? Yes, it's true. People tricking you into giving you information. Victoria, okay, great. Anything else? Have you heard of all of these words? Smishing, pharming, phishing, and spamming? Great. Victoria, which ones have you not heard of? Not smishing. Okay, that's a simple one actually. Yeah, spam is junk mail, and we're also getting phone spam now. Okay, so a lot of people haven't heard of smishing, so we'll get into that, but let's just go ahead and we'll take a look at pharming first. Pharming is taken from pharming, of course, and automatically it redirects you to another website without your knowledge. So in order for you to understand when you're getting farmed, you need to understand how URLs are set up. And this looks really complicated, but we're going to go back and forth from 2 slides so that you can kind of understand what this means. So in this URL, we have what's called the protocol, and it's usually now HTTPS. The S means secure. Doesn't always mean secure, but it should be there. It means secure. Then there's the colon and the // and then we have what's called the subdomain, which is the www. There's not always a www.google.com. Now, the Google is the domain name, and the .com is what's called the top-level domain. So if you kind of think like top-level domain and then subdomain that way, and all of that together is a resource name. And then after that / is where the file path, that's where the folder in the hard drive, the file lies. Now, before this, I know this sounds like a lot, but just in a minute, I'm going to show you something and we're going to analyze it based on this. So this is the kind of email you might get, okay? This looks like PayPal. Everything looks beautiful like PayPal. And when you go, when PayPal comes to you in email, it's generally not good like this. But if you take a look at this URL, and I know it's not that easy to see, but I think you can see it. It's paypal.com.security.alert.confirmation-manager-security.com. Now, if we go back here, we see the .com is your top level domain. If you look from the backwards here, you're going to see that the actual, this says security manager. Here it is. It's actually all of this. Confirmation-manager-security. That is your resource name. That is your domain name. That is not what is PayPal. PayPal will be just https://paypal.com. It will not have any of that other stuff. So it looks like PayPal. You look at it, you see it's PayPal here, paypal.com. But what you really need to look at is from the back forward and analyze that. Yes, this is somebody's security.alert.confirmation-manager-security.com. That's their domain name. So this is what's called pharming. Is that okay for everybody? Any questions about that? I'm going to take a look at the chat box. Not clear still. Okay. So let's just go back to this one. Oh, clear. Okay. So that's good. All right. So here's a few other examples for you. Here is Google. It looks like Google. It says someone has your password. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, someone has my password. Someone just used your password to sign into your Google account. And you look at this and you'll see a little box that says click here to change password. Well, you're already in freak out mode. So probably you might click on that button. That is a very bad idea. Google will never send you an email that allows you to click on a button to change your password. They will tell you in an email that someone has signed into your account, but you have to go into Google to change your password. So this, I have been fooled myself by both of these things. Of all of this stuff, I have myself been a victim of, which is why I wrote this workshop, because if I'm a victim, everybody thinks of me as a techie, then everybody can be a victim. So Google will never send you something like this, so don't freak out. And just the other day, I got the one here with the Apple. Looks just like the Apple account, and it's asking you to sign into Apple. But, and I know you probably can't see it here, but if you look up here, I'll just read it to you. The address is, and this is why I said HTTPS is not always HTTPS, because it is HTTPS, but this is not a secure site. But the domain is assistance-apple-secure.ngrok.io. Not Apple. But you see this and you say, oh, I need to manage my Apple account. I'm going to sign in. You really got to look at the URL for that. So let me just back off here. This is called phishing. When they come to you and you take the bait, that's phishing. when you click on a link and it takes you to a web address that, like the PayPal one, that's pharming. So pharming is when they take you somewhere, and phishing is when they send you bait and you accept the bait. Any questions? I'm looking at the chat, so if you have a question, if you don't have any questions, just type nope or N, somebody can. Yeah, you have to actually, Margaret, you don't look just at the beginning, you look at the end. You look at this part here. The .com, you look at what's before the .com to find out what the, where this is actually coming from. So it's, don't look at the beginning, look after the before the .com or whatever it is. Okay. So let me show you something else that's very interesting here about your web addresses. Every browser is slightly different, but you want to have what's called a green light. A yellow light means to be cautious, and a red light means you're in bad territory. I don't know if you've seen this up on the URL, but these are just some examples of verified goods. These are all green. And each browser has a different way of doing it. So I put all the browsers up there for you. But if you look over here, you'll see these are the yellow and the red. You may get these sometimes, and you want to make sure that you don't click on anything if it says it's not secure. Chrome is doing a lot of this, sometimes overdoing it. So it might say it's not secure when it really is kind of secure, but it is for your safety. All right, so now that we're done with that, this is smishing. Have you ever had a phone message like this on a text message come to your phone like this? This is what's called smishing. This is spam on your cell phone. Of course, now we're getting the uncontrollable spam calls from people, right? But this is the text messages that come. And you know, when you see something like this, never, never, never click on the link. And I think this is kind of like these slides. You can show your students these slides and really educate them. This one here might be a little much because it's really about the URL, but it is so important. But you know, the red light, yellow light, green light, I think they can understand that, and you can educate them about being safe. And I'm sure many of them have gotten these in many languages, and they may not know that they're not supposed to go, that they really did not win a gift card. So any questions before we move on to Wi-Fi? Any questions so far? There's nothing you can do to stop it. All you can do is be aware of it and not get taken by it. And even though I teach this class now and I'm really aware of it, I often get taken with these here. These are hard for me. Like the other day, I got an email saying, yeah, blocking the number might work, but Victoria, they have so many numbers they use that you get another one from them. But blocking is good. But anyhow, the other day someone wrote, I got an email saying that, thank you for enrolling in Spotify Professional. Your credit card will be billed shortly. If you did not order this Spotify, please click here. So I almost did it. I was so close to clicking. And then I said, no. I cannot click here. I go to my Spotify account and find out what's going on. So it's really hard to be careful. It's hard to be careful, but you have to be more careful than that. Okay, so Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is actually becoming more and more secure as the days go on, but Starbucks Wi-Fi is not secure. And I have had, there's a Starbucks near my house on Walnut, and I've been hacked into 4 different times in that Starbucks. So it's really not a good idea to use the free Wi-Fi in Starbucks or airports or anywhere where it says it's unsecure. Anyone can hack into your system. It's really, really easy to do. Now, some of the Wi-Fi, I don't know which ones I would ever, like in school, that's fine. That's secure Wi-Fi. But Starbucks, be very, very careful with. And if you do log into a public Wi-Fi system that's in Starbucks or airport or in the mall, be sure not to open your bank account or log into your email, unless you have auto logon. Any questions about that Wi-Fi? You know, free Wi-Fi in hotels. I don't know. I prefer not to use them. If it's secure, they'll tell you it's secure, and it usually will require a password. Now, hotel Wi-Fi, some of it's secure. The way I often tell whether a hotel Wi-Fi is secure or not is by opening up my iPad and going to my iTunes. And if I can see all the guests who have iTunes on my iTunes, then I would say it's not secure. That's how I tell. But the hotels are getting better. It's all getting better. So I don't want to say don't do it, but just be careful, I think, and be aware that free Wi-Fi is easy to hack into. And if you can see people's iTunes account on your iTunes, then for sure it's not secure. Okay. So some people might think, with all of this stuff going on, just stay away from the internet and then I'm safe, right? What do you think about that? Any ideas about that? I mean, there's a lot of people who just say, I'm just not going to get online. I'm not going to get a Facebook. I'm not going to be on the internet. I'm going to stay away from it. I'll just use my phone. I won't text message anybody. I'll be very careful with my email. Gretchen says impossible in this day and age. Yeah, it is. Actually, it is kind of impossible, but my argument's going to be that you're doing yourself a disfavor by not having a web presence, and I will explain why I feel that way. So you stay away from social media. Okay, we're gonna discuss this because I think when I finish with you today, you might want to have some social media. So let me just show you something, and this is good for your students. This is I made this actually this graphic from an article, and the link to the article is down there, is about social media and employers. And did you know, this is very interesting, that 57% of employers will not interview you if you don't have a social media profile. And I'm sure that this is not true for schools and professors, but it is true for the students' world that they live in. 57%. And then 54%, and I don't know exactly if that's 54 or the 57 or not, base their hiring on your social media profile. So with more than 50% looking at your profile, if you don't have a profile, that is not a good thing for getting a job. 70% of employers will screen candidates from social media. And this is like an amazing increase because in 2006, it was only 11% of employers. Everybody's using it. So it's really doing yourself a disservice. I mean, your students too, if they don't have a profile. So for that reason alone, you might want to have a profile. And I'm going to show you now how you can craft that profile. That was 11 years ago, Sarah, huh? Well, now everybody does it. I think it's more than, maybe it's more than that. So let me show you now. The first step we're going to do here is we're going to Google ourselves. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually Google myself for you. So I'm going to go here to a new window. And the first thing I'm going to do when I Google myself is I'm going to go into what's called incognito. Now, the reason you want to go into incognito is because if you Google yourself while you're in your browser, it's Googling, it knows it's you. So it's giving you information that you want to know about the internet. It's not giving you what other people see about you. So you have to go to incognito. Now, let me just go back one step because I have here for you. There's different, So there's different browsers. And so I try to cover all the browsers. It's incognito's on Chrome. On Firefox, it's private. And on Windows Edge, it's new in private. So that's what you're looking for depending on what browser you're on today. So let's go back and let me show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to open a new incognito window. And now you can see that I have gone incognito. I love that Google does a little guy with the glasses. All right, and I'm going to Google myself. And I do that by typing in my name. Now, you may say, well, my name is like really, really common. Like Gloria, your name is very common. And there's going to be a lot of you. Well, I will show you how you can distinguish yourself from all the other Glorias. There's ways to do that as well. So here we go. I actually did do this before the workshop, and I was very happy with my results. Make sure. There has been a time, though, that I wasn't very happy. So here we go. Look at this. The first thing that shows up, I have 91,600 results. That means I'm really a lot on the internet. The first thing that comes up with me is my website, which is great, and it has a nice little discussion about what the website is. The second thing comes up is that I'm president-elect of CATISA. I'm very proud of that. I'm glad it comes up. Then comes my Twitter. And then, interestingly enough, there is actually another. Oh, you don't see this, Margaret?
No.
Oh, okay. So let me see. Maybe I have to do it. I'm going to have to do it here. I guess. Stop the share and let's do it this way. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Let's try this. Okay. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Now, do you see it now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So now I don't see it. Do you see that? What do you see? The Google search?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so here we go. Let's start from the top. So here, Susan Gaer is my website. And then over here on the corner, you can see actually has my little picture. It has my picture. It has author. It has a share link. It has my book. And then you can click for more. It has I'm president of CATISA. It has my Twitter account. This is, okay, this is where I was. There is another Susan Gaer in Washington, and she's a judge, so that's her. But she only shows up once. And then this is a SlideShare presentation that I did, and here's a CATISA workshop, and here are my pictures. You see all my pictures, my students, my book, me at Google, me again, me again. I mean, I'm very happy with everything. It's a perfect site for people to find me. I'll be very proud for people to see this. So what you need to do is to start distinguishing yourself from other people in order, it takes, so for your profile to change, takes 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, Google trolls the internet and it changes your profile. So anything that you want to do now, you can do by starting now. In 3 weeks, you'll have a different profile on the internet. So I want everybody to try this right now. So you go to File for Chrome, you go to File, New Incognito Window. Let me, and go ahead and put your name. Put your name, don't, make sure that you put it in just like your name, like mine is Susan Space Gaer, and then hit return and see what comes up and see if it's, and Gloria, because your name is so common, you're going to find out that this is a problem. So we're going to start, you're going to start trying to distinguish yourself from the many other Glorias. You might want to put in Gloria Loya plus something about yourself, like teacher or something, and then you might be able to distinguish more. But yeah, it's a matter of distinguishing yourself on the internet. So even though I have it pretty well covered, I still have this one place where this other Susan keeps coming in. So I need to work on moving her down my list by putting more good stuff about me up there. The more I post, the less her stuff shows up. So go ahead and tell me if anybody found something they weren't happy with. One time I did this and somebody said, oh my gosh, there's nothing there about my salary. And yes, your salary is public information. If you don't post anything on the internet, your salary will show up. It will be the only thing that shows up. So another reason, you know, my salary's in there probably at 91,000 somewhere down at the bottom. So by posting and going, like in order for my website to show up, I have to go to my website all the time. The more I go to it, the higher up on the scale it goes with Google. The more people go to it, the more I go to it, the more it's useful, then it shows up higher up on the scale. So is everybody able to Google themselves? 9 people in 9 states with my name. Okay, okay, Heather, what's your full name? And I'll Google you if you don't mind. If you don't want me to, I won't, but if you do not mind, I will try to Google yourself. And it might be, Heather, that there's nothing you haven't posted. I don't know. Let's see if we show you, if you show up here. Hold on. Heather Marie Parker, you are a brave woman. So this is not you here? The Facebook? None of those are you. Okay, so it might be that you don't post much on Facebook. Let's put California, see if that makes a difference. Yeah, my guess is, Heather, no, it's not the obituary. My guess is you don't post very often online. And that's why it's coming up like this. And why mine's coming up so nice is, number one, I have a kind of unique name, but number two, I post a lot. Rita, I'm glad yours looks fine. But you need to do this regularly. I do it monthly. I Google myself, and I do it in different browsers because different browsers will show up different stuff. Okay, so Gretchen, go to File. Are you in Chrome? Which browser are you using? If you're in Safari, it might be different. So let me know. In Safari, you're going to go File, New Private Window for Safari. Chrome is the only one that has incognito. So you go to File, and then you look for New, and you look for Private, Incognito, something like that. It's not going to be a tab. It's going to be under File, Gretchen. So let us know if you found it. I'll move on. I'm going to stop this sharing here so I can go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so we're back to everybody can see the Google myself now. And so these are the way. On Firefox it's going to be private, on Edge is going to be private, and in Safari it's also private. You don't have a file, Gretchen? See, I have up here at the top, I have a file. You might be able to find it. Hold on. Let me see what's here. No. What kind of, are you on a computer or on a tablet or on the phone? You're on the computer. You maybe have your you might have your maybe Marjorie, you could help her. Maybe she has her top ribbon turned off. In the left pull down screen. Gretchen, it might be way over here somewhere. In a minute, if you can't find it, we'll have you share your screen in a minute. Let me just go on to, I want to show people how they can craft, and we'll come back to it. Okay, so one of the things I talked about was crafting your presence. I worry about you though, Gretchen, sorry. So one of the things you can do if you don't like social media, and we'll give this a minute to load here, is you can get what's called an About Me page. There's a lot of free websites out there. This is one I made. I mean, I just made it to show you guys what you can do. I don't really need you to hire me, but as I'm retired, but this is something you can do. And it's important, very, very important, that you choose a picture of yourself to validate yourself. Like an image. You want to have a picture that's like your mugshot that you use everywhere on the internet. And the reason why you want to do that is because Google looks for the same thing over and over again. And every time it finds your picture associated with your name, it remembers who you are so that your profile can get up there the way you want it. So you need to pick one picture, and you can change that picture maybe once a year, but I wouldn't change the picture every week because you're not then validating yourself. It's important if you want to have a crafted website that you use your real name. And if you have a middle name, you use it. If your name is really common, sometimes your middle name can be the distinguishing factor. And then you want to have an About Me page. And this one, you can actually, there's a website called About Me, about.me. You can go there and make an About Me page. But here's another example to an About Me page. You know, Catherine, do you go there though? I mean, do you go there at a regular time, and do you have your picture and your name there? Because it should show up. And I don't know, this link doesn't seem to be working. So let me go back again. This should bring me, let me see this one, hold on. That's the same one that's there. This one doesn't, this was a Wix page, but I think I must have blown the link, sorry. But you can just do something very simple, like if you don't have a website, or you can actually have you tell your story. That's what I want to say. You want to tell your story on the website. And let me just try this one. Let me try this one more time because it worked the other day. Oh, I see that it's changed. Okay, I changed it. Let me see if I can. Maybe it's the next slide. Because I wanted to show you how I told my story. Hold on. We will load eventually. All right. Oh, this is it. Yeah. So this one is going to be my story, so you can see how you can make a story up. And so here, about me. So I have, I have this, and I have an about me, and I have up here my education and my skills. And I have pictures that tell who I am. So here, I have a lot of pictures that show who I am, so that Google, every time it Googles me, and I have more than one of these. So maybe, Catherine, you need to have more than one About Me page so that Google can see the same. Like, when it trolls the web, it picks up what looks the same. And so the more that it can see your picture and name together, the more chances you have of it showing up on the front page. Yeah, LinkedIn is fine. We're going to get to social media in a minute because social media comes up a lot more readily than the websites, but social media is fine. Yes, Sarah. So let me go back because I don't want you to lose a share. I'm gonna make sure I'm sharing the right thing with you guys. Okay, so it's important to have a cover image. It's important to tell your story about who you are. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Canva, but Canva is a great tool. It's free. It allows you to make beautiful graphics. The graphic that you saw that I made on the, over here, the infographic that I made was done with Canva. Very easy to do. They have templates for you. So if you're really looking to be visual, Canva is a great tool. And I would suggest that you get an account with Canva. And the last thing is be consistent. Use the same. I know people like to change their picture all the time because we can, but you really got to be consistent, or else Google doesn't understand that they don't connect the face and the name together. So that's really important. So I would say if you're not finding your website up there, perhaps you need to have more than one, since I do, and that seems to work for me. Yeah, Canva, it's called Canva. HTTP canva.com. And it's a beautiful graphic website and you can make really cool things. Okay, so it's really important to be, like, let's just review. Be consistent, tell a story, be online, and do the same things with your name over and over again so that people are aware. But, however, I need to tell you a story that happened to me. And I'm not proud that it happened to me. It happened to me and Branca, by the way, Branca Marchetta, who is the now running the ABG in Sacramento area. We shared a computer, and she logged on to her Google account, and I logged on to my Google account. And unbeknownst to us, our accounts merged. Now, I have looked this up on Google, and Google says you cannot merge your accounts. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the visual of our accounts that are merged. And you can see my name in some of them and her name in some of them. And what's really, really scary about this is that our passwords are here. Oh, sorry. Our passwords are here. These are our passwords. Now you're saying, well, they're dots. How can you know? If you click that little I, you will see her password. So here's a bank account. All the person needs to do is click that little I, and they will see your password. This is a really big problem with the Chrome browser. So I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to not let this happen to you again. And we do not know how it happened. I've shared Google accounts with other people before, and that had never happened. And I did look it up. I've researched it on Google, and I even researched it again today to see if there's more information, and Google says you cannot do this. So this is what you need to make sure you do particularly if you're working on a computer at school. I don't care if it's your own computer at school, if it's at a school, anybody can get into it. You want to go to passwords.google.com on your browser. And when you go to passwords.google.com, you will see some things that you can make sure are done. So you might want to go ahead and do this right now. Go on your browser, go to passwords.google.com, and make sure that your smart lock is off. Your auto sign-in is off. If you have your own computer and no one's touching it, it's fine to have auto sign-in. But if you share your computer with anybody, you want to make sure in your browser that the auto sign-off is turned off. And you're logged in Chrome, you're logged into your account. So when you fix this in your account, it will be for all your accounts. And where it says save passwords, it should be empty. You should have never saved your passwords on a computer that you're sharing with somebody else. And this is okay. Here, you could have a whole list where it says never save passwords. You could have a whole list, like your bank would be in here, would be great, because that means no one's ever going to save your bank password. And yeah, we're going to get to the password issue in a minute, but I know a lot of people do the passwords, auto passwords for convenience. But of course, I have another story for you. I was using PayPal a lot, and I put on PayPal. When you pay for something with PayPal, they say, do you want to save your password for this account? It's a lot easier for you to get back in and buy stuff. And I always said, yeah, I do that. Well, when the person hacked me in Starbucks, they were able to get into my PayPal. And there they had all my passwords for all these places. And they spent all this money and bought all this stuff with my PayPal. Fortunately, PayPal was able to reimburse me and I didn't suffer at all. But don't do that on PayPal. Even though it prompts you to do it, don't save your passwords ever. So that's that. And if Branca and I could have this problem, anybody can have this problem. And we were in shock. So that's what you want to do is go to passwords.google.com and turn those off and make sure that your saved passwords empty. If not, you can go ahead and delete them all. Saving credit cards on sites. If you're on a chase.com site, you can save your credit cards, but I wouldn't save my credit card information on my...
It's a webinar on how to protect yourself online from...
Oh, somebody's talking to somebody else?
Hacking. Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just, you can mute. Okay. So, yeah, so you never ever want to do that. All right. So here is how to, so that was Chrome I just talked to you about, correct? Well, in case you're on Firefox, or Windows or Mac OS, whatever you're on, there's different ways to do it. And then that's why I want you to download this. I don't really want you to do this now, but I do want you to think about this so that you can do it when you, after the webinar, you can go ahead and make sure your Firefox is safe too. So any questions so far? Okay, now I'm going to show you something that everybody should know about. And this is good, and you'll love this. This is, so how often is it that you go to school and you log on to your email or your Google account maybe on 3 or 4 times a day? I mean, when I was working, maybe I did it on, I had 10 computers in my classroom, and I probably logged on to every single one of them. So what you need to do, and I'm going to actually show you on my computer, and I have no idea where I'm logged into, but since I'm not teaching anymore, I'm kind of hoping that we're going to have a positive thing here. We'll see. Okay. So let me get the, you're seeing Heather up there, right? Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to go to my mail.google.com. And we'll give it a moment. I'm already signed out, so I'm going to sign in. And I'm going to talk to you about this as I do it too. Okay. So I'm going to sign into my Google account. Okay, what's this you say? This is called two-step verification. Every single time that I log on to Google, I have to do a second step, and I usually do it with my phone. So I'm going to go back because my phone was actually, I had the internet off on my phone. So I'm going to go back and do it again so it'll actually come on my phone. This is a very safe way to log into your Google. So right now it's sending me a text message on my phone, and I have to respond to get logged in. This is called two-step verification. You must do this, and later on I'll show you how to do it. I know it's a hassle because every time you do it, you have to have your phone, but it really protects your account. Okay, so here's my email, and now I'm gonna go, I'm scrolling all the way down, and maybe you can't see it over here. You'll see details. Right here at the very bottom, I'm gonna go to details. And it's gonna show me all the places I'm logged into here. And it looks like I'm in my browser, Chrome. I'm in, I don't know what that is. I'm in Firefox on my phone. Again, another browser, Chrome. A lot of Chrome. I must have Chrome open more than once. So all I need to do now is to close out of all my Google accounts is right here. It says sign out all other Gmail web sessions. I click on that. I'm now signed out of every session that I was in except for the one that's here on my screen. And all I need to do now is to sign out of this one, and I will be signed out of every Google account there is to sign out. So that is a very good way for you to keep yourself very safe with your Gmail and make sure you're not signed in to any other account besides the one you're in. Does everybody understand how to do that? Or shall I show again? You got to scroll all the way down to the bottom of your Gmail, all the way down, down, down to the very end of your messages, and you'll see a little thing. It's very tiny, and it says details. Yes, you're looking at my inbox, correct. You need to be signed into your Gmail account to do this. So you're looking at my inbox, and you go all the way to the very bottom, and you see a little word that says details. And then now, because I just signed out when I was showing you, did you see what happens when I click on the button or not? Maybe that's what the problem is. You're still looking at my inbox?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay. So let me see. I think I have to try to share a different way. Let's try sharing my whole computer. Maybe this will help. I'll share my whole computer. Now, do you see what happens? You see my blue box?
Yes.
You see where it says activity on this account?
Yes.
Okay, so let me log in so I can show you again how that happened. All right. And thanks for letting me know, because I don't know what you see sometimes. Okay, so here's my email. You're looking at my inbox. I'm scrolling all the way down to the bottom of my inbox. And here you'll see that there's this little tiny word called details. I click on that. And here there will be a click. If you're signed into more than one account, there'll be a link here for you to sign out. I'm signed out, so it's not going to show there. But you want to make sure it says this. This account does not seem to be open in any other location. That's what you want to see. If you don't see that, there'll be a place for you to click to sign out of all your other web sessions. Go ahead and try it now. Go ahead and try it now. The bottom right, correct, Margaret? Click on it. Mitra, you don't see anything? You see a black screen? I don't know why.
I can see now.
You can see, Mitra?
Yes.
Okay. It was probably because I wasn't sharing correctly.
Right.
Okay, so you want to make sure that this sentence is there. This account does not seem to be on in any other location. If not, you want to click on the link to sign out of all your other accounts. Please do this every day. Especially if you're in a school system, you need to do this every day because you're on multiple computers, and there's always times that you forget to sign out. And I know you've gotten on computers where people have never logged out of their Google account, and that's because they haven't done this. Great, Margaret, I'm glad it worked. Okay, so let me.
Okay.
Any questions?
I was wondering if you can repeat that. I'm sorry, because it was black. So do I scroll down on the?
Okay, yeah, you go. So you're in your inbox.
Right.
Yep, in your inbox. You scroll all the way down to details.
Okay.
You click on details, and you'll see here. Now I have it. Okay, sign out all other Gmail web sessions. I click on that, and then I'm signed out.
All other details.
Gloria, go all the way down to the very bottom of your email, and it's at the bottom right in very small print. It says details. I wish that they would make this. We all need to write to Google and say, why do you have it in such small print? It's like they almost don't want you to find it. So are you, what browser are you in, Gloria? It might be a browser thing. Because it might be that you have to be in Chrome because it's a Google thing. Okay, got it. Okay, good. All right, shall we move on? Okay, let's go back and we'll move on. I lost my presentation, so let me go back to it this way. Here we go. All right. Now I have too many windows open myself, so let me just like take a minute here and see if I can find what I want to find. I think I'm just gonna do it this way. You're seeing my inbox again, correct? I'm gonna go to my drive and get my presentation back. And we'll give it a minute. Okay, here we go. We've done crafting yourself. Okay, we've done that. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're here. All right, so there's a place you can go. It's called a security check. And that's another reason I'm going to show you how to do this. It will actually make it all up to par. So it's the point you'll think will take you to this. And you can check the Okay, I'm back. I guess I must have lost my connection for a second because it's recording still. Okay, so we went to the link. Did you all see that link, or did I die before that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. So let me move this out of the way. So here is my security checkup, and it shows that I have 4 issues. So I can go to each issue, and I can decide. Okay, so then I can decide. So this is I have a Chromebook that I almost never use, but I don't want to remove my account from my Chromebook because I like my Chromebook. So I don't want to remove it even though it's an issue. And you'll see that both of these, they're both my Chromebooks. So I'm not removing it, even though it'll say, look at this, 154 days since I last used my Chromebook, but I still like it. And then it shows you here all the devices that my account is signed in on, and I can check to make sure, okay, this is my computer here. Internet's not doing so well. But now you can hear me again, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's just part of being online, you guys. So here's my husband's phone that's still signed on, and then here is my Chromebook, my Acer, my Chromebook, and my iPad Air. So all of these, I make sure they're all mine. That's great. If there's any here that are not mine, that's somebody else, like you see Hungry in there or something, you want to remove it. And you might find that sometimes people are signed into your account from any places in the world. Okay. So that is this link here, Google Account Security Checkup. Any questions with that? The link is on the slide. So when you go to at the end of the workshop, I'll take you back to the drive where you can see all the files that I have for you, and we'll go over them. and then you'll get this slide so that you can go and just click right on the link here, and it will take you there. Okay? All right. Now with Facebook, we have the same situation. You need to set, Facebook has a lot of settings and securities for you. Everybody seeing my Facebook security settings now? Yes? Are you all seeing the Facebook security settings? What do you see on your screen?
I only see the dog.
Mitra.
We don't see any.
Anonymous. You don't see anything?
The dog.
Okay. You know why? Because I have to start. I guess I have to reshare. Okay.
Still recording though.
You see now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So good. Now we see. All right. I have 14 chats here. Okay. Now. Okay. Good. All right. So let me take you into full screen because it's got a lot of text on here. So this is your Facebook, and I think a lot of us have Facebook. I use Facebook with my students. My students love Facebook, so I go where they love. So you can actually set it up so that you have that two-factor authentication, and you might want to teach your students the vocabulary word. Two-factor authentication is a really good vocabulary pronunciation exercise, but it's a really important thing that all of your everything on the internet, you have to have another device to log in. That will ensure that nobody can log into your account without you knowing it. And just the other day, I got a text message saying somebody was trying to, I got a text message saying somebody's trying to change your password on Twitter. If this is not you, do not reply to the text message. Just go ahead and change your settings. And I think it's because I had set up all the safety and security in my Twitter that I got notified about that. So you really want to make sure you have this two-factor authentication and teach your students. This is like, for this modern day and age, this is like a critical vocabulary word. You can even do some spelling with it. And this is the instructions for Facebook, okay? So when you go and you log on to this PowerPoint or this Google slide, you just click here on the link and it's going to take you right where you need to be.
We lost you.
I hope that I can log into my Facebook. Because the next thing we're going to talk about is secure password management. And I see that my internet is unstable, so I may be. So let's hope that we're not gonna, that this is gonna show up. Well, maybe not, but I promise you, if you follow these instructions, you just click on this link and then you keep this page open so you can read it. So you can log in. You make sure you have two-factor authentication and then click edit. And then it will give you some choices. Do you want to have an access code sent to your phone? Do you want to have your own code? Anyhow, it'll give you some choices. And then once you make your choice, you just click enable, and then every time you log into Facebook, you're going to have another device with you so that you know how to log in. Okay. Any questions about two-factor authentication? Okay, so now we're going to talk about passwords. We got to have passwords, and we got to have many different passwords, and they have to be long passwords, and they have to have certain things in them. And so basically, it must be at least 8 characters long. It should not contain easily guessed information such as your birth date, phone number, spouse's name, pet's name, kid's name, login name, etc. It should not be any of those things. It shouldn't even be a word that's found in the dictionary. And it should contain special characters, and here are some of the special characters and or numbers. And so with password security, you are now going to start teaching your students some of these symbols that you normally would not have taught. And they're all important symbols for math. So it's a good thing to teach them these symbols because they need to know how to use these characters. And it should be a variation of upper and lowercase letters. These are the rules. These are the new rules. And if your students are using computers, if you're using computers, they have to learn these rules because this is where we live today. So I would start teaching I was teaching the lowest possible ESL level there is, called pre-level 1. That means before level 1. And I taught them all this stuff because it's important. Just, you have to practice it with them. And then the question is, you can't have the same password for every place. So it becomes really, really hard to remember your passwords. And can you write them down? No, not really. So you've got to have some sort of system. I have a system. I will not tell you my system, but I will give you some ideas of systems that you can use. You can use books, maybe books that you've read. You can play around with vowels, and I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but I've got zeros instead of O's, and instead of E's, I have a 3. So I love my school. I love school. You can do that. You can play around with the vowels like that. Like every vowel has becomes a number. You can reverse words. And if you look at this, you'll see what that word reversed is. My name, I shouldn't do that actually, but I just wanted to show you. You can take a word, the common word that's in the dictionary, and reverse it. You can add spaces or underscores. And then you can check your password strength to see how strong it is. Now, people always ask me about password managers. And so here I have the link for you to this comparison of all the different password managers. Yes, Catherine, I'm sorry, I didn't see that question. You can use it for your browsers, for your internet, your two-step factor authentication. There are all these products out there, and they're all different. You can see all the different uses. For some people, this will be a good way for you to keep your passwords in check. The problem that I have with this is that it's an online security system. It can be hacked. If you're using just your brain doesn't get hacked. It's the only thing that doesn't. If you want, these are the prices. None of them are free. None of them are free, and these may be a little old. They may be a little bit more now. And you can go to each one, and they all have trials, so you can try them all out, and you can find one that fits you. But I personally, myself, prefer using my brain. So that's why I've come up with a system that works for me. And if I tell you my system, it will no longer work for me. So I cannot even tell you what it is, but I can just say, yeah, you can have your own system. And then you can always check how secure your password is. Here, there's 2 sites for you to check. Any questions about that? Some people write them down. Not a very good idea, because once it's written, some people put it in their email. Not a good idea. Some people put it in their cloud storage. Not a good idea. So I suggest that either you come up with a system that works for you. And this is another thing I will tell you that I do, is once a month, on the same day of every month, the same day of the month, I change all my passwords to another password. So all my accounts use one password for 1 month, and then I change them all. So in any case, that would only work for a month. And I use my system. And so I'm always changing my passwords, and sometimes I don't get into my account, but usually I can, because it's usually the same password for every account. But changes regularly. So that's what I have to say about password management. Any questions, anybody, about that? Are there any questions you have at all so far about all the stuff I've been talking about? We've talked about, what have we talked about? We've talked about the passwords. We've talked about two-step authentication, security checkups, signing out of your accounts, password protection, how not to merge your accounts in different browsers, managing your web presence. And remember, it takes 3 weeks for any change to happen. So I would suggest that if you don't see what you want to see on the website when you Google yourself, to keep crafting and keep crafting. I've been crafting for years and years and years, so that's why it comes up almost perfect, not quite, almost. But you keep crafting and it gets better and better. And remember, people are going to be looking you up that way, so you really want to be able to show yourself nicely there. And how important it is to have social media. Be careful with Wi-Fi, smishing, verifying the web addresses, pharming, phishing, and pharming. And you know, these are good examples to use with your students. I really teach everything I teach to myself, I teach to my students. Gloria, Google Mail, Outlook, these are just programs to read your email. Your email is your email. So Outlook is like Hotmail if you're using free Outlook, and Google is Google. So whatever one you're comfortable is fine. I'm a Google person, so I use Google, but you can use either one that you want. And smishing, pharming, spamming, and phishing, we all got that. Okay, so let me make sure we've done all of these objectives. Very good. Let me go down here. Okay, so let me show you now. This is the Google Drive. If you go to the beginning of the presentation, right here, there's a link. If you will copy that link into your browser, you will see my Google Drive with the files that you need. And I want to show you what files they are and why they're there. And then maybe we'll get to go home early. Okay, so this is the PDF. This is the actual PowerPoint. And so you can take it like this. You click on it, and it will open up, maybe. And I'm going to show you how you can save it to your own Google Drive. If we're lucky. Because it seems like my internet is getting slower and slower. Thank you, Victoria. I'm glad you liked it. I created it because everything happens to me. Okay, so you're going to get something like this, okay? What you want to do, this is my account, but it may not look exactly like this, but you want to go to your file menu and you want to make a copy. The reason why you want to do this is because this will put it on your Google Drive. And then you'll have it for yourself and you can make any changes to it you want. But you could even use it for your faculty. So but you have to make a copy. You can't use the one that's here. Okay, so let me go back, sorry. Now, we're going to date some people. We're going to find out who is young and who is not. Tell me if you know this guy. Anybody know him? Think back to elementary school. He's now in the 21st century. Ruff McDuff is now doing Mind What You Do online. McGruff the crime dog is now the cyber crime dog. This is a great tool. And so a lot of what I presented here came from this tool. And this is really, the whole thing is here for you. You have crime fighting as your home cyber safe, risks when you're remote. I really recommend loading this to your hard drive so that you have it, or put it on your Google Drive. And the other thing, so that's that one here, mind what you do online. And this is a PDF. If you just want to download a PDF, but you don't want the whole slideshow, I put the PDF there for you. So you have all that stuff to use. And I really hope that you're going to take this material and work with students and work with your teachers and kind of share what you learned here today. Let me go through here because I have a few more things for you. We did, and all the links, like I said, are here so that you can just go. All right, and then the password management systems, you can take a look and see which one you like. Now, this is really important here. You really, really, really need to, I'm putting this in I need you guys to fill out an evaluation form. And if you don't fill it out, if you fill it out today, you will not be bugged by OTAN. However, if you do not fill it out, OTAN will bug you until you do fill it out, because this is how OTAN gets its funding. So I put the link in there. It would be really great if you just go ahead and fill it out right away while you're kind of fresh with it all. And with that, I will say we're finished. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them for you. You're welcome, Tristan. Thank you, Victoria. I hope everybody learned a few things. And Marjorie, did you get the attendance from everybody before I let them go? Marjorie, are you there? I think she's there. I'm recording it, so I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, I will stop the recording.